Hey gang, Dennis Tubbergen here with another economic update. Today is Monday, April the 16th, and I have on the screen an article from the Bipartisan Policy Center. And the headline on the article says CBO, Congressional Budget Office, confirms trillion dollar deficits coming soon, and here's why it matters. Now, we've been talking about this for a long time, but this is really a very interesting report. And again, there's no spin really in this report. CBO is a bipartisan organization. The facts are really just the facts. Now, when the CBO published his mid-2017 update, I'm giving you a bit from the article here, the projections were far from rosy. The combination of the baby boomers phasing into retirement and ever-rising healthcare costs have produced a systematic imbalance between the federal government's spending and revenues. The Great Recession, military conflicts overseas, prior tax cuts, and other policy changes have also contributed to the steadily rising national debt. Now, CBO estimated last June that deficits would exceed $1 trillion by fiscal year 2022. Now that's expected to be crossed in 2020. Now, there's a chart here included in the article that shows how the current debt outlook has steadily worsened over the past 6 years. Since the Budget Control Act of 2011, CBO's baseline debt projections have been trending up, but the latest estimates are notably worse. At 96% of GDP, debt held by the public is projected to be the size of the whole economy in 2028, which is, get this, 40 percentage points higher than the estimate from 2012. So in 6 years, it has gotten that much worse. Now in 2028, according to the article, deficits will cross the $2 trillion watermark, $2 trillion watermark, and interest payments at that point would consume 32% of all income tax revenue. Now the bottom line is this: sometime between now and that point, if you look at the numbers, something's going to have to give. A $2 trillion deficit would actually create a situation where a number of folks owning U.S. government bonds would quickly decide they don't want to hold them. In fact, we're seeing that happen now all around the world. Now, this talks about some of the effects of why debt matters. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I'd encourage you to go read the article. The first reason is that rapidly expanding debt will depress economic growth over time and could lead to fiscal crisis if borrowers lose faith in the country's ability to repay. That, I believe, will have to happen. If there's just simply too much debt to be paid, number one, it won't be repaid. And as it becomes very obvious there are other better alternatives to U.S. government debt, those holding U.S. government debt are going to get rid of it. That's when we're going to see this fiscal crisis happen. How do you protect yourself? Well, you want to make sure that you're diversified. You want to make sure you are diversified as far as currencies are concerned in your portfolio. And one of the things that I recommend is that you always consider holding at least 10% of your portfolio in physical metals like gold or silver. That's today's economic update. It's Monday, April 16. I'm Dennis Tubbergen.